Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Boisterous coming to you with some Platinum League Pandemonium out of the map Elhana, L-E. Spawning up here in the top left-hand corner, we have Arcanine as the purple Zerg, and down here in the bottom right-hand corner, we do have Cadoink as the yellow Terran. And you all might be thinking, wait, he's casting a Cadoink game? Ah, damn it, now they're conspiracizing to cast each other's games. But Arcanine sent me this game, so screw you! And I just flipped off my microphone, and I'm not sure because none of you can see that, but I did it anyway. And it was kind of just how I felt like rolling. I would just also like to say that I now finally have time again. So if any of you guys know of a tournament that needs a commentator, or is thinking about starting up a tournament and want a commentator, then just send me an email, or send me a link to a forum thread where they need a commentator or something. Because I would like to get back to tournament commentary because it's actually a lot of fun, and I'm trying to set up a rig where I run my stream through two computers so that it actually can get up to 720, 1080p quality. But that's going to take a little while because it's complex apparently, and I'm not good with computers. I mean, I built my own, but I don't know how to run it. I don't know how OS works. What is that thing? Ugh. Alright, we do have a barracks coming up from Cadoink. Interestingly enough, not walling off. So Arcanine probably not going to be amazingly ballsy. He doesn't have a spawning pool in the way. It's probably going to be a 15 hatch. In fact, I would venture to say that it's absolutely going to be a 15 hatch, with the drone leaving about right now. Or that drone is going to be the one that drops the hatchery, and it's actually not an awful plan, I guess. That leaves you with plenty of oh no, Cadoink. Oh, the SCV not quite there in time. Ouch. If you're gonna harass the worker like that, you gotta make sure to keep your SCV planted right on the hatchery spot. You cannot leave that hatchery spot, because if you do, then the hatchery's gonna be perfectly fine. Looks like we now have the Marine on the way, and this drone, will it be able to get away in time? It should start running soon, because this Marine's probably just going to rally past it and then be perfectly fine with killing it. Who's gonna hit the ramp first? Actually, I think the drone can just get away, because drones are much faster than Marines. Oh, maybe not. Maybe the drone's lagging a little bit behind. He doesn't know what's happening. Oof. Mr. Drone gets away with 6 health, exactly the amount of health that a Marine takes off with a shot from his Gauss rifle, and that was much too close for Mr. Drone there. Looks like the SCV is still kind of camping out in the Zerg base. Their spawning pool is just about wrapping up for Arcanine, so his production is just about to start. And this is a massive drone pull. This is 7 drones. That's absurd. Why would you pull that many drones, especially when you have one coming back from a scouting mission? Wow. So many drones. That's 8 drones. He has more drones on his natural now than he has on his main. Right? Yeah. He has one more drone. That's so many drones. I don't even understand. Alright, so Cadoink is now just finishing up his command center. It looks like he's going for a 3-rack strategy with a no gas, which is kind of something that he always freaking talks about. Always freaking talks about. I don't even play Terran. I don't even know what he's talking about. I'm like, what's a barracks? What is these things? And he's like, oh yeah, you just build 3 of them, then you build Marines, then you win the game. And I'm like, yeah, I know what a Marine is, because they're overpowered and they win against everything ever. And then I cry a little bit, and he comforts me, because that's how we roll. And Arcanine now just starting up his metabolic boost for that spawning pool. And I just realized that I'm scrolling around a whole lot this game, even though people have been requesting me to stop doing that. So here I go. I'm stopping cold turkey in the middle of the commentary. I'm gonna just click around on the map, and I'm gonna do it slowly, just because let people process what's happening in the game. Oof. Even though it's happening with such lightning speeds. Oof. I don't know why I'm making noises, but I am. Alright, so we have quite a few Marines now lining up at the front of Cadouink's base. However, he does not have any sort of upgrade facility up yet. There is a factory now finally coming down. I'm very surprised that he hasn't gotten an engineering bay yet. He does have 2 refineries, so he is starting to get that sort of gassy tech stuff. However, he's only getting 1 tech lab, so I venture that he's just going to keep Marine production rolling. And he's probably just never going to stop it and not really go for Marauder production. And that's actually a reasonable decision because Arcanine only has Zerglings at this point. Zerglings and Banelings. So maybe not the best decision because there are Banelings on the field, but I've seen Cadoink split. That's actually pretty good. So that's perfectly fine. And I think that it's something that, you know, he can face up against Banelings pretty well, and even Infestors to a certain point. Cadoink is actually a Diamond level player. So this is a bit of a mismatch. It's a Platinum level player versus a Diamond level player, but, you know, whatever. And the video's going to be titled for the Platinum level player anyway. And as we have this group of Marines massing up at the front, we start to see combat shields coming up, and that's going to make them so much more effective. And it looks like siege tanks are now going to be on the way, and those are going to be super effective versus Zerglings. However, the Zergling Baneling army still scares me because it's kind of the hard counter to Marine tank, especially considering the fact that his upgrades are going to be so much faster and so much better because he has the double Evo chamber already, whereas Cadoink is not even starting his engineering bay. It looks like we have a bit of an SCV pull. Not quite sure why. Oh, this was a bit oversaturated. That's perfectly fine. And we actually see this group of Zerglings just sitting here scouting out the third base, making sure that the turn player isn't taking anything for granted. And they are going to start hitting that destructible rock down a little bit, but I'm not sure why the siege tank is not just absolutely destroying them. Oh, siege mode isn't done yet. Siege mode should probably finish up so that he can absolutely destroy these Zerglings, because, you know, one siege round is going to actually kill off quite a few. And siege tank. Oh no, they're looping around the front. Combat shields is up. This is a 0-0 push. Oof. Did you even see the destructible rocks going down? No. Actually, yeah, he did. He should have. Huh. Okay, so we have 20 more Zerglings on the way. I would not be surprised to see most of these get morphed into Banelings up at the front now. Does he yet to have Baneling speed? No, and that's kind of sketchy. But he does have a reasonable creep spread, and he can get out like another round of creep tumors. And actually, with the run by of Zerglings, he is being forced back into his base. It's going to kill off a couple of Marines, but more importantly, it's going to draw the entire army back. And actually, how many SCVs did he kill? 2. Okay. That wasn't that effective as far as SCVs killed, but it did manage to get off a couple of workers and buy him just the amount of time that he really needed. It looks like the destructible rocks are now being killed by his small platoon of Zerglings. However, Zerglings are not amazing at killing rocks. Maybe he could loop some of them around and attack the lower half, but that's kind of sketchy if your opponent could be attacking at any moment, which Cadoink looks like he's going to be attacking right now. He is not yet rallying all of his units to the front of his opponent's base. He's actually just rallying them to the inside of his base, and he is supply blocked. And he's going to be supply blocked for like 20 seconds. And that hurts. That stings a little bit. Hurts inside. And here comes the Zergling Baneling. This isn't the best. And all the Banelings go off on the tanks, and that's not exactly what you want to do. Oh, this is not good for Arcanine. And there is a lot of Banelings getting morphed in. Let's see if he can manage to be a little bit more effective. This army is rolling up into the front, and this is quite scary for Arcanine. It's also a little bit too Cadoink because he does not see these unit bars. And here come the Banelings. Oh, yes. Oh, that's going to be... Yeah, all those Marines. Did not even see it coming. And it looks like this siege tank is going to get cleaned up. This queen is a monster, living with 1 HP. What a beast. And it looks like they're just going to go right back to destroying the rocks, you know? It was what they were doing before, it might as well be what they're doing after. Cadoink is now starting to remass up his army, but he lost a lot of supply there, and I think that it's a reasonable trade so far. You know, I mean, the platoon of Zerglings definitely puts Arcanine ahead in that engagement, but so far the game has been amazingly even as far as loss goes. And, you know, it's pretty good for both players. We have Arcanine being reasonable with his creep injects, not amazing, not the best macro we've ever seen, but it's not bad for a Platinum League player. These queens could probably be down at like 70 energy at this point in the game, but, you know, I'm going to have to deal with that. It looks like we have a canceled command center for Cadoink, as he is really, really ballsy. And we have this destructible rock now starting to go down. The Marines are heading out and around, and siege tanks are starting to shell it. And, they're running. The Zerglings have managed to escape and get away. These Marines, you know, they tried to be a little bit threatening. They were a little bit too threatening. The Zerglings ran too fast. And it looks like we now have centrifugal hooks finally on the way, along with Mutalisks. And Mutalisks is a very weird choice versus this type of army comp, especially for, you know, Arcanine, who seems to favor kind of odd choices, and he really likes to go for just weird things like, I don't know, I've seen him go for a lot of heavy Nidus play before, and even like Ultralisks in the past. And Ultralisks are actually very strong versus Siege Tank Marine, because Marines do like 2 damage to them per shot, and they have like 900 health. Well, 550. But don't quote me. And we have this Marine force now moving up into the natural and the third, and this Queen is going to be absolutely decimated. But here come the Banelings. There's the surround, and the Banelings heading into the Marines, and oh, so much acid going off on these Marines. And it looks like all the siege tanks got cleaned up, and that was very well done by our Zerg player. If we look at the units lost tab, yep, there we go. Now we see the Zerg player starting to make those trades that are extremely cost efficient, and he's doing very, very well with them. And I think I just got a message in something, but I think, was it Steam? That sounded like a Steam message. Skype is like a dupe. Facebook is something else. No, that was definitely Steam. I really hope my friend doesn't try to call me in the middle of a commentary, because that's going to be super awkward and I'm going to have to restart. But, you know, what happens, happens. And here come the Zerglings now moving down to the third base. They are going to be able to snipe off a little bit and force the cancel on this warp into an orbital command. And with these Mutalisks, if the action isn't fast enough, they might actually be able to kill... Oh wait, no, the Marines are there. It's perfectly fine. That's definitely awkward for Cadoink, because that's now a very low health orbital command. And if he leaves his Marines, you know, if he makes his Marines leave and stop defending at any point, it's going to be a spot where Arcanine can kind of just swing in and destroy it. We have Arcanine being a little bit on the supply block side, however he does have 5 Overlords on the way, so that should be remedied quite rapidly. Let's see, is Cadoink going to actually go for a repair on this at any point? Nah, he doesn't need to repair. He's way more manly than that. It looks like we have a massive SCV pull from probably the main base. Yeah, because the main base is running out. And I could see another one happening too, because there's like 3 piles of minerals split up in between like 15 SCVs, and you really only need 9, or 9 is technically the most least efficient number, because you get a little bit more efficiency, but not enough to warrant having more workers there. So most people just have 2 per minerals and then 3 per gas. But that is a completely different issue. We have these Banelings now morphing up at the front, and you know, this is still kind of awkward because he does not have infestors, I don't think. At least, at the very least, he doesn't have the energy upgrade. And you know, infestors are amazingly good versus this type of army. And we see +2/+2 coming out for Cadoink. We do not have that sort of overreaching Zerg upgrade lead that we've seen in the past. It looks like Cadoink does have the Zone Watchtower, and there Arcanine manages to pick us up. He sees the fantastic spread from Cadoink, and this is going to be a very bad place to go for an engagement, so he goes for the main base like a real man. There we go. And with no wall up at the front, there isn't going to be anything to buy Cadoink time as these Zerglings start running in and just killing his production, and oh my god, the SCVs. Ouch. Ouch. Alright, so it looks like we might be pushing our way into a base trade scenario right now. There are 17 Mutalisks on the way. Oh, that is not good for a base trade, because if those things start sniping off siege tanks, you're done, son. You're done. And it looks like all of the production is now being camped for Cadoink. There's going to be no more Marines or anything else coming out. And oh my god, the serving, man, it's so beautiful. Everything's just burning. It's awesome. Alright. So we have Cadoink starting to move up into the main base, but he's staying amazingly spread. He's amazingly afraid of those infestors, and god damn it. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going. Screw it. My phone's gone off in the background before, and it went off for less rings than that. So, whatever. Looks like we have this massive Mutaflock. They do not want to engage with these Marines, though. He's gonna be swinging and kind of like picking off small amounts of them. And, you know, these Marines actually not being pumped up are amazingly bad to fight against Mutalisks. And we see these Mutalisks just flying in and doing perfect amounts of damage without losing anything. He did manage to just lose 2 Mutalisks, but he did take off a siege tank and quite a few Marines, so that is pretty cost efficient, I would say. And here they come. Oh my god, all of the siege tanks going down to these Needles, all the Marines being completely oblivious, and every siege tank goes down. That is horrible for Cadoink. Oh, that was so sloppy. And we now have the the Zerglings on their way back. There is no production left for Cadoink. There's no tech left for Cadoink. Arcanine has just taken such a lead in this game in like the last 3 minutes, where he's managed to clean up almost the entirety of Cadouink's army that actually threatens these Zerglings and these Banelings, and he's managed to do it with such flair. It's crazy. Ugh. Cadoink kind of sucks at the game. I can't even believe it. Oof. And that was actually a complete joke. And I got a dirty eyes from across the room. But we have the Zerglings and the Banelings now wrapping up these Marines, and I just don't think Cadouink's going to be able to stay in here for much longer. He has a lot of barracks forming up, but he doesn't have the siege tank infrastructure. We just saw what happens to Marines without siege tanks when they're confronted with this type of army comp of Zerglings and Banelings. And yeah, this is kind of bad for Cadoink. It's not a situation he wants to be in. Arcanine is just absolutely wrecking him, and here comes the GG from Cadoink. Maybe the game leave. There's the game leave. Okay, so anyway, guys, if you want your games commentated, you can send them on into boisteroussc2@gmail.com. If you want to watch any other games I have commentated, you can over to youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. Thank you all for watching, and this is Boisterous, signing out.